Welcome back. Welcome to day 3 of the Take Charge Challenge. We've already been through 2 days and 2 more days to go. So we are pretty much on the 50% mark, halfway there. So, how was your day today and where are we on our assignments is obviously my first question. That's going to be. So, before that, let's just jump on a quick fact. 1st February already. A month of this new year of 2023 is already gone, right? 8% of the year is gone. The first month, the month of resolutions, the month of new beginnings, the month of goal setting, that crucial month of the year is gone. Where are we in terms of our goals, our dreams and desires, and the plans which we had? Have we moved? Have we started? Have we left a few of them out there? The whole program, Take Charge, was about taking charge of our life and taking charge of those goals and making them happen. So we'll continue to work towards that. And 1st February, 1st Jan, they are just dates. Whenever you start, you can still achieve your dreams in whatever time you want. It's up to you, the timelines, etc. So let not the January has gone and nothing done overpower you. We will still make it happen. Okay. So a touch of humor, of course. Yesterday we had a nice little video which we had seen. Today I'm going to show another one. Okay. So you will have to give me a moment to get that video switched on, because in a bid to get a few things started, I accidentally closed that window. So let me just go back to it. Maybe some of you have seen this video, so I will ask you to hold on to your comments, but otherwise this should be an interesting one. Come on. Okay, so my laptop decides to go slow. Even YouTube is taking its own time to start. So I've just come out of another meeting and everything was going fine. I was not getting disconnected. But 8 o'clock is the time when my laptop starts to act funny. My connection begins to act funny. Anyway, so I think it will open up when it opens up. In the meanwhile, we will move on and start doing our recap of day 2. Yesterday, we talked about goals. We were building the goal list. We talked about why it was important to list down all your goals in all the different areas of life. And of course, then we also talked about overcoming challenges. Each challenge that we have identified in the first 3 steps, we look at each of those challenges and figure out ways that we will overcome them, taking help from internet, from people, from wherever the help is available. But it's important to overcome them. And of course, I also talked about laser coaching for goals, 23 minutes, one goal. We completely refine and redefine it so that it is a sure shot for success and we don't leave anything to chance. Okay. So that offer was made to anybody who's interested, and 23 dirhams or 500 Indian rupees is what you will be donating to a cause, either my choice or your choice, for that session. Okay. So with that, we move on to the question about how many goals have you listed? So we now get back into our chat box. So let's fire up our chat boxes and share with everybody how many goals. We just want the count. How many goals have you listed? And yes, once we get the numbers, I would love to ask you if there were any surprises when you listed the goals and you went in creating that long list. Did any goals come up in that list which you were yourself surprised to see? But first, I'm looking at you entering numbers. Vinaya, 27 goals. Good. Anupama, Jatin, Kanchan. Anupama has written 21. Good. Rashmi, Kanchan, Jatin. How many goals? If you have not done the assignment, you will be putting in a very small number. Jatin, 3. That's okay. How many have you written? Kanchan, that list is ever expanding, open to expansion. But how many written?
Actually, I just wanted a little bit clarification in this one.
Okay.
So, like, I am a mother of 2 kids. Okay,
Fantastic.
and they both are now one is already doing his graduation, the other one is doing his grade 11. So my goals, a lot of them I have associated with them also. So how do I differentiate this one? So do I have to only write my goals, or what I also feel for them that they should
Give me an example. I'll tell you whether it's your goal or not.
So, for example, Karan wants to play for Indian team. Okay,
That is his goal.
so
Okay.
he's yeah. So for me also, I feel that is also my goal because I'm going to help him out and put forward his plans and all and help him in doing his seminar building and all that. Okay.
Fine.
And
So,
Kunal is studying his engineering. I feel that when he finishes his engineering, he must have set up a business where he must plan to at least, hire at least 1,000 people. That's what I feel, So is that to be my goal or is that to be his goal? Because I'm not sure if he's thinking like that or not.
right. You tell me.
So I don't know. I just want to know because I want him to achieve this.
No, no. When you're asking what is the first thought, now that you have asked this question out loud, not just thinking inside, but you have verbalized this question, what is the first answer that comes to your mind?
I think it can be also my goal.
It can be also my goal. So, whose goal it is
It should
primary?
be, right? It should be, right? Primary for him, yes.
Absolutely.
Primary.
So, their goal is to do that. Now, what is your goal in their goal? That's what you need to figure out.
Okay.
Their goal can't be your goal because you are not going to employ 1,000 people unless he forms the company and you are the chairman. Then you are employing or chairwoman, chairperson to make it gender neutral. So your goals have to be your goals. You can have a role to play in someone else's goal, basically family or even friends, but then that has to be clear as to what you are going to do. If you
But
don't do
even
that,
to be honest, my list is too long. I mean,
that's
it's
fine.
not it's not ending even.
I think I mentioned this yesterday. Shah Rukh Khan once said, "Bas itna sa khab hai, sari duniya chahiye." Very small dream. I want the whole world. Perfectly fine. But having
So,
a long list of goals, what should not happen is you get overwhelmed by the goal list and not do anything. It's like so many things to do. I don't know what to do. So at the end of the day, you haven't done anything. Perfectly normal thing to happen when you get overwhelmed. It has happened to
but
me today.
I just want to share one experience that I do write. I have a habit of writing. Okay,
Yes.
even when I have a conversation one to one, at that time also I have a habit of writing. So what I have realized is that when I write it, even I'm not sure when I would have written, but it
Mhm.
it seems to me that it is happening to me something repetitive. But actually, it is for the first time. But I feel it's happening for the second time because I might have written something somewhere. This is what happens with me.
Perfectly fine. But as I said, you need to still identify the goals which are your goals and they have to be different from someone else's goals. Two people cannot be chasing the same goal, right? Because otherwise, what will happen is along the way, there will be a clash because you are getting mixed up. You will have your own
Oh,
vision, someone else will have their own vision, or they will have their own way, method, approach, and then there will be a clash. So even in their goals, figure out your role that you would want to play, and that becomes your goal.
okay.
Okay.
That I never thought like that. Really, like it can clash. Wow,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
two people are trying to build the same company, they will require an amazing amount of being in sync to not fight. I mean, we have got plenty of examples of business empires where brothers have fought with each other, right, for all sorts of reasons. And we have got so many organizations which have co-founders, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people have started it. Goes on for a good amount of time, but then eventually it comes to a point where cracks begin to appear. And those cracks appear because they are now overlapping their roles. If they have clear responsibility, okay, I'm looking at this, you look at this, and you look at that, it goes smoothly because nobody is stepping on each other's toes. Right? So these are like small things which you can think from a co-founders or business owners perspective, or even from a team perspective. If you've got overlapping roles, there will be problems. So don't make someone else's goals your goals. Find your place. And this is a very good example. Your family members, you obviously get attached to their goals also, and you make it your personal mission to make them successful. Right? Very, very normal. But then you need to find out how are you going to make them successful. Because it is about making them successful and not being successful. That being has to be for them. They have to be successful. So that is where you will need to, and this is where a little thinking is required in terms of defining your goal and why it is important. And how exactly are you going to put your goal in words, and so on and so forth.
Thank you for that clarity. Really, I was till now I was really confused about it, but
Yes.
now it is clear at least now. Really, I mean, I was not thinking, but you're right. Actually, it can happen that two people chasing the same goal, it can happen that it can get into a clash.
Yes. Right. I can actually do a bit of selling here. See, this is why you need laser coaching. 23 minutes.
Yes, by the way, I need that. I'm ready
Okay.
for that.
Fine. Okay. You've got a few members joining in. Okay. So those who joined in the middle of the conversation, what we are doing right now is asking everybody to write the number of goals that you have identified, which was yesterday's assignment, writing all the goals. We got a few numbers in there. In fact, just 3 people have shared, Vinaya, Anupama, and Jatin. I am expecting other people to share. Kanchan has written 47. Fantastic. Just 3 short of a gold jubilee. What is it? 50 golden jubilee. Okay. Others. Rashmi. Rashmi is written. Okay. Shalini, 10 goals. Rashmi, I'm waiting for your number. 4, you need to work on it. 4 is like you haven't done your assignment. Okay. So that was about goals. Of course, you need to keep building that list. And the most important thing that I want to hear from you is, were there any surprises when you built that list? Especially Kanchan, you have got 47, Shalini 10, and 21 Anupama, 27 Vinaya. Any surprises? Something came up in that list which you did not expect, or something that you have not thought about for quite some time, and you suddenly brought it back to life. Kanchan, yes, again. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I want to share actually because see, I like traveling and I'm almost a solo traveler because nobody else joins me. So whatever trips I have done not in not only in India but also outside.
Okay.
And I was thinking that I like to travel the world. And when I was just preparing this one, so I was just looking at, okay, which destinations in India are beautiful. So I realized that in India, there are a lot of beautiful places which, we can go. And it's much more better in comparison to other side of the world, like Leh Ladakh. I
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
a I watched a full documentary or a full video on that yesterday. And I also thought of looking at spiritual places. Okay, so I realized that the 12 Jyotirlingas are really beautiful places to go, and you will feel also. So this is coming as a surprise because I was not
Yes.
thinking to travel inside India, but now I feel that India is first priority.
In terms of natural things, natural beauty, natural geographical features,
You're on
I think
mute,
the
I
only
think, Hemant.
thing, sorry, yeah. So probably the only thing which we don't have in India are volcanoes. Otherwise, think of mountains, hills, snow, glaciers, backwaters, rivers, valleys. We pretty much have everything. And some of those places are absolutely beautiful and stunning. So yes, discover India. Incredible India. That's what we have been trying to market. Okay. So one realization. Anybody else had any realizations or discoveries about their goals? Any surprises? Okay, no surprises. Fine, we can go on to the next one. In terms of ways to overcome challenges, were you able to give time to your challenges in challenging your challenges? Did you figure out at least a few ways of tackling at least some of the challenges, and any surprises there? Anybody has anything to share on that?
Yes, Hemant, I would like to share something
Yes, Anupama.
on this. Yesterday, when we did the exercise about procrastination,
Yes,
in fact, today morning I decided I'm going to implement at least one of those ideas which other people have put on the table and take it forward. And you won't believe it, since 7 o'clock in the morning till about 7 o'clock in the evening, the amount of work I was able to do today, it's amazing. So actually, I
fantastic.
want to thank you and thank the forum here
Uh,
for giving me those nitty-pitty ideas to implement. At least for today, I don't know if it's going to take on tomorrow, but for at least for today, I am in that happy mode to say I have accomplished a lot than I usually do.
Fantastic, fantastic, lovely. So we can actually clap for everybody in the room because the ideas came from everybody. So the
This is
credit
true
is
for
with
me
all of you.
also, Hemant, today.
Yes,
This I
continue.
want to share. This is also true for me today. I started my
Fantastic,
day a bit earlier, and full day I was in office, and every minute was productive for me today. Today was really good day for me as well.
lovely, lovely, fantastic, fantastic. Two people had very, very productive days. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay,
I'd
great.
like to share too, if it's okay.
Who was that? Sorry.
Hemant? Me.
Yes.
Yeah. So the challenges, because mine are very recent ones, not from post-COVID or whatever period.
Yeah, yeah.
So all this while we've not thought of anything to do with life. I've been into tutoring and whatever. So it is not a big challenge. You like to do, and that happens matter of factly, basically. But this business is a big challenge because you have to keep thinking every day round the clock how to better it. So today I
Yes.
finally thought I'd seek help from a friend, and which you had mentioned earlier, like go and seek help. So he gave very brilliant ideas, which I'm going to work on. So the
Fantastic.
business model, everything, the terminology, and it's easy to look up on the net and find out details. And now I'm going to sit with Anand after this or maybe tomorrow and just figure out how about we can do and how to better it. So thank you so much. As you said, this forum is a great help to think.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. See, benefits already happening. So, which is good. You're already taking charge of your time, your business, and so on. This is lovely. Great. Can move forward. What's happening with my screen? Okay. With that, we'll move on to our next step, which is step 5 of our 9-step framework, which is basically an action list. In very simple terms, to-dos. You always create a to-do list for the day. What we are going to now do is not for the day or things like that. We'll pick one goal. Whatever long list you have got and whatever long list you are building, pick one. Take the one which seems the most important. Don't overanalyze it. Pick the one which is most important to you and just start writing down things that you need to do to achieve the goal. No order is, I mean, the order is not important. The size of the task is not important. Just about anything and everything that you can think of. Right? So pick a goal. In fact, if you want to share that goal that you're going to write about in the chat, which goal you have picked up, and you're going to spend the next 5 minutes. And 5 minutes is a long time, 300 seconds. 5 minutes, you will be writing down things that you need to do. As I said, the order is not important. You can pick up something from the end of the journey and write it down. Let it be a jumbled list of things to do. People you have to talk to, people you have to do certain things. If it's writing the book, then it's writing chapters, designing the cover page, finding a publisher, uh, editing the book, making the grammar proper. If it's about running a business, then there are so many aspects of business: the advertising, the marketing, the running of the business. Okay, Jatin, got your message. You can see the recording then. Okay, Jatin is missing some part of the meeting. If it's about any other goal, if it's a health goal, what are the things you will need to do? Right? It's a to-do list. So 5 minutes on the to-do list, and then we will spend 2-3 minutes on the not to-do list also. Things that you should not do if you want to achieve the list. Of course, procrastination comes up high on that list. Number one, in fact, don't procrastinate. Right? So things that you should not do, but that's later. Right now, focus on absolute to-dos. People you want to talk to, research you need to do, information that you need to gather, Google searches. Okay. Dubai time 8:34, 8:39, 5 minutes. You will be writing. Relax. For those who are watching the recording, you are also doing the same assignment. Please spend the next 5 minutes in writing the list of things that you need to do to achieve your goals. So I'm not pausing the recording. The recording will be silent for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Please do the quick steps. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, only ladies, no gentlemen. The gentlemen left. The to-do list will grow, of course, but you've got into the flow of it. Now, take a break from the to-do and start writing the not to-dos. Things that you're not supposed to do so that you can achieve the result. One example, of course, was procrastination. And along with procrastination, you can add laziness also. But similarly, things, you need to identify things that should not be done. Okay. So your to-dos are there, but I would love to hear some of the not to-dos. And you can actually help each other by highlighting the not to-dos. So any not to-dos to be shared? Nobody's unmuting.
Yes,
Rashmi
sir.
is unmuted. Rashmi, you go.
Good evening, first of all, for you, and good evening to all here present. First of thing, sometimes I get anger on small things, like short-tempered, sometimes.
Okay, so anger. Not to do anger.
Anger.
Understood.
Yeah.
What else?
And I help more, sometimes I take burden on me, but I don't know how to say no.
Yes.
And because of this, I'm like suffering a lot, but I do help a lot.
Got it. So saying yes to everything. That's the not to do.
Yeah, not more help.
Yeah.
Should learn to say no.
So when you are putting it on the not to do list, it under not to do, it will be saying yes to everything, not saying no. Otherwise, you will continue to not say no. Okay.
Okay.
Put the right thing under it.
Yeah.
What
not
else?
delaying the things, not delaying the things, because I'm used to delay the things.
Okay. So procrastination, yes, we keep delaying.
Yeah,
keep postponing
and I'm not at all punctual. I always reach late. But since I've joined the Toastmasters, 60% I've improved, but 40% still have to work on it.
Yeah. So now you are 60% on time. No, so you can't say I always reach late now. It's gone past tense.
No, past, I mean to say, like, if meeting is going to start on 11, I used to reach 11:30, but now 11:05, 11:10.
Rashmi, you're saying used to, so it's in the past. It's gone. So now you can no longer say, I am always late. That's what I'm saying.
But little late, no? So what we'll say?
So don't go late, no? Next time. When is your next meeting?
Sure, sure.
Easy to
Yeah,
fix
that's all.
things. Easy to fix things. Not even a problem.
That's all. That's all from my side.
Okay. Other not to do's. Anyone else sharing? Vinaya, yes.
Yeah, same weight loss goal ही है. I have to reach an ideal weight. So not to do is more because sometimes you give in to temptations. I had loads of sweet yesterday, and before this thing started, there is a moment in this month or certain months, every month for that matter, when women tend to eat more of sweets. I don't want to give in to that temptation and unnecessary temptation.
So not to do
Burnt
is
800 calories. Not to eat those sweets at all, not getting tempted, have water instead, chas instead, but not to go and get that temptation done. Just a spoon of that would have
hold on.
done.
Very
but
clearly tell me what is the not to do.
Not to have that sweet, not to go in for anyways. I don't go for
So
junk.
under
generally.
not to do, you will be writing have sweets.
Not to have sweets. Have
Not to
sweets.
do
Yeah,
list
yeah,
is there. Not to do
yeah.
list is there. See, to do list is not
Have
to have
sweets.
lists.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to have seeds.
So that junk, oily food, not given to that
Yeah,
vada
yeah.
pav that is tempting during the weekend, and you say, oh, okay, one bite wouldn't mind. It does when you are on a definitely deficit thing and you are on a very low calorie diet. At that time, it shouldn't work because if I have to reach, I need to work on 9 kilos more. And not to shop, basically to
Fantastic.
shop till I lose weight. That is the
Okay.
basic thing.
Great. So your
Okay.
not to do list is clear. But on that note, I have to ask, where do you get good vada pavs in Dubai? I haven't really tasted good vada pavs here.
Mumbai Masti. It is
Mumbai
really
Masti.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, it is good.
We'll try that. Okay.
Mumbai Masti here in Al Nada.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah.
part of Dubai are you in? I don't know. And
Other complete opposite end, Discovery
there's
Gardens.
Urban Tadka, which also has a very good samosas as well. But
Okay.
it's fine. Not to
Fine.
tempt you.
Got it.
Not to
Anupama
tempt you
Shale.
here.
Yes, yes. Any other not to do's? Okay. So Anupama, Shalini, any not to do's from your end? Shalini, you are very, very silent, so we can't hear you, we can't see you.
I think a lot of not to do's are already shared by the earlier members, but I have a very specific one, and that is do not agree on unethical practices, because the goal is according. So I said, do not
Yes.
agree on any unethical practices, and the
Okay.
most important one is do not fear.
Super, super. So good ones. While this exercise was going on, my daughter wrote some not to do's for me. So I'll read them as it is. For Papa, not to do. 1, no junk food. Not too much sweets. And no shouting at children. Very clearly, my not to do list has been informed to me. Great. Okay. Shalini, you're there? Oh, yes, you're there. But you'd like to hear you and even see you if possible.
My camera is actually not working. My laptop
Okay.
has some issues. That's the reason
problem.
why I'm completely turned. It's not working actually. My audio has only been. For me, my not to do list would be just drive away my laziness,
Uh-huh.
to be focused on the target which I need to be done. Third one is like just to be cautious about the health, which I'm not quite
So what's the not
doing
to do
it.
there? Being
Not to
cautious
do
is the to
means
do.
like to avoid food. No, I'm quite a foodie, so
Can't write
I don't
avoid
like
food.
not foodie in the sense what I cannot say junk food. See, whatever comes, no, the leftover things, I don't want to waste up. So I just finish it off. That's the reason. It's not the junk food, what I mean. As a mother,
my
I
wife
should
is looking at me right now. My wife is looking at me. So not wasting food, like give it to me. That's what I normally do. So I can understand that completely. And yes, I
see
can
that
add
way.
that
It's
also to
not the
my
junk
not
food
to
which
do.
I mean. It's the So to control, no, to control, just have a stop that. Okay, I can just leave over that instead of having it.
Yes.
Other than that, not to yell at my kids, being more stressed. Try to avoid that so that it will be like a happy environment which I could create. It goes on. Not to do is
Absolutely.
more than to do.
But come to think of it, we have always, everybody always talks about the to-do list. Nobody talks about the not to-do list. Except in case of health where you have, I mean, we're pre-prescribed, don't do this, don't eat this, don't eat this. But in all the other goal setting, nobody talks about the not to-do list. And one of the things which you just now mentioned, and I also mentioned, no shouting at children. And you related that to its better environment at home. That is such an important thing, because when you scream at kids, of course, there is a reason. The kids have done something. Not that they deserved to be screamed at. And you immediately, within a fraction of the second, while you are doing it, you know that you are doing it, you're not doing the right thing. But what happens after that is that once you have screamed out, the atmosphere in the house drops down. Right? It's no longer positive. In your own mental state, it's not positive. We can't really achieve much if our mental state is not positive. So all those things, whether it's anger, screaming, or binge eating, which is often again linked to a sort of a negative thoughts going on in our head. So we are just trying to counter them with binge eating or too much of sweets eating. Ultimately, those things are pointing towards of having a very positive attitude and a positive state of mind. So that's where it is important. So that not to do list again is a very, very important part of it. And you will see that the not to do list is not very goal specific. It kind of goes across all goals, where there will be some things that you don't do across each one of those places. And of course, there will be some not to do's which are very specific to a particular goal. Hence, this importance of your action list having the to do's and the not to do's. Okay. So again, the assignment for tomorrow will be that pick up your most important goal and create a very long to-do list, and of course a not to-do list also. And this is just the list. Again, remember once again, you're not trying to think that, oh, this has to be done after this has to be done before. Not at this stage. When you are in step 5, think of all the things, not in the order in which they have to be done, just all the things that needs to be done. Okay, the order will come later. Okay, great. From here, we move forward. So we have talked about everything that needs to be done and everything that should not be done. Okay, where is my other slide? My slides seem to have disappeared. Okay, anyway, what we're going to talk about is the next things. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so the next step from creating the list, our step 6 is going to be a plan. Very basics of doing anything. Once you have identified what you need to do, then you need to create a plan. And if you go down to the basics, what is a plan? The plan is essentially a sequence of activities that you will perform to achieve a task. Now, in this sequence of activities, there will be some activities which are one after the other. You can't do the next activity unless you finish the first. So they will be one after the other. But at the same time, there will be other activities which can be done pretty much in parallel. So if it's about writing a book, you need to think of the theme of the book, the subject of the book, and create a structure of the book, the table of contents. These will be the chapters, and this will be the outline of one of each of those chapters. Before you start writing the chapters, you couldn't possibly write your chapters at the first step and then go back to something. But while you're writing the chapters, based on your overall thought process, you could potentially design the cover page. That cover page does not have to wait for the complete book to be written to be designed, right? There are these sections which are the acknowledgement and the thank yous and dedication. All these things can go in parallel. You can start working on them. You can start connecting with potential publishers who might be interested in the book. You don't have to wait for the book to be completed to start. So there will be these activities which can run in parallel, which can be done earlier, later, things which will go in sequence. This is what will define your plan. All that to-do which you created now needs to be put in logical sequence. Wherever possible, you need to balance it out also. Okay, now, one very important thing, when you are planning, okay, I'll quickly jump across the slides because they've opened. Thing 34 is where I... Okay, yes, that is where I am. Yes. Plan for 9 months maximum. So in this 1 year, whatever is the goal that you want to achieve, the plan should not be more than 9 months. It can be less than 9 months. If whatever you're trying to achieve can take about 3 months to achieve, great, do it in 3 months. But if it like you think that, oh, it might take 12 months, 10 months, try to create a plan which works in 9 months. Right? One of the reasons I suggest 9 months is, in our case, January is already gone. So whatever plan you create, you have only 11 months. So when you plan for 9 months, you would ensure that your goals are achieved by October. If it slips a little, by November they will be done. If it slips a little more, by December it will definitely be done. But if you plan for 11, 12 months and then it slips, it doesn't get done within the year, it goes to the next year. In reality, it doesn't make a difference because your goal is to achieve the goal, not stick to a timeline. Unless like 1st of Jan is a date when that thing has to either go live or be released to the world or something is connected to it. Otherwise, a month slip here and there is okay. But what in reality happens is we get discouraged when things do not meet their target in terms of time and the scale we want. There is a different level of mindset you need to proof yourself from that kind of thinking. So it is better to plan for a maximum of 9 months and try and achieve it in that time, right? Now, a good case would be that you actually achieve your goals in 9 months. Then you've got November and December to enjoy. Nothing to be done. Enjoy, celebrate, have fun. Start planning for your next year. Right? Take charge what you are doing in February now. Do that again in November, December. Think of the goals that you want to meet in the next year and so on and so forth. Okay. So 9 months is the timeline on which you will plan for achieving those goals. Again, for the assignment, that one goal for which you have created the to-do list, you need to create a plan. Choose what way you want to do it. You want to do it on paper, you want to do it in Excel. Like I am the Excel person when it comes to planning. I will have my list of activities in rows, and my columns are weeks. 52 weeks of the year. And whenever I'm starting, each box is 1 week. I am just putting a color, whichever activity needs to happen in which week. So once I'm done with this activity, I can see this nice flow of my activities across the year. And then I will have these review periods every month, and I will do a review. So that review box is appearing after every month. Right? Then there are, of course, project management tools available, or you could just write it down, whole thing on paper. That I'm going to do this activity, it will take 3 weeks. Then comes this activity, another 2 weeks, another activity, 2 weeks, and this is happening in parallel. Somewhere here, something else is happening, and so on. So choose your way of doing it, choose your comfort tool. But what you need to have is your plan visually in front of you. Having everything in the head is great, but it doesn't inspire us every day. It doesn't push us into action. So when you have your plan on paper, either in an Excel or as a chart in front of you, stuck on a wall, you see it and you know that these are the weeks when you will be doing things. Now, when you're planning, please account for any holidays that you have already planned, the vacation time for the kids where you will probably have less time on hand, and so on and so forth. Festival season, everything. The first thing you mark on our calendars, if you are, let's say, in Dubai or let's say Middle East, is your Eid and Diwalis and the other festivals, where there will be bulk of holidays, school vacations, etc., etc. Because there less time will be available, you will be like off schedule. Those things are practical sides of planning. Okay, so that's pretty much the tip on the planning. If you find it difficult or overwhelming, think at month level first. That in the next 9 months, if I have to achieve this, month by month, what I should achieve. And then you can take each month and break it down into weeks. Right? At a high level, that should be the granularity of your plan. Month, if possible, at a week level. If it's a 3-month plan, then definitely you should start thinking in week level only. Okay? And that's how you build your plan. And that is very, very important. The plan. So today, what we talked about was the whole planning exercise. Identifying all the things that you need to do to achieve your goal. And we're talking of one goal here. And then putting it on a timeline. Planning exercise. To some of us, it comes naturally. When we think of something, it's just natural for us to think of series of things that need to be done or list of things that need to be done. For some, it can be difficult. It's just the way our mental makeup is and we think differently. Some of us are full of ideas. We don't think in steps. Some of us will get the ideas and start thinking in steps. For example, planning a dinner at your home with family. In your head, you automatically start thinking of when, what, menu, according to the menu, the shopping that will need to be done, what are the things you need to bring from outside, what is available at home, depending on the number of people, what dishes to select which are most easiest to prepare versus what you might buy from outside. The whole conversation, whether order from outside or make all myself, and so on and so forth. Right? Immediately it goes like planning a picnic. Again, your series of steps, etc. start off. Each one of those is a goal, a project, a plan that you create. We do it in and out pretty much every day. Anything we do, there is a plan. If you're cooking a simple meal in the kitchen, it requires planning. Right? It of course starts with the question, "Aaj ghar mein kya banega?" Which is of course like, what am I going to cook today? I see my wife perplexed with that question on a daily basis. Right? Which then begins what is available in the refrigerator, or if I want to make something, what are the things I need to buy from the supermarket, and so on and so forth. Shalini is giving me a thumbs up. this example touched. Right? It's a daily thing. Yeah, I completely understand. I see that happening. The look on my wife's face, and then I know she's wondering whether to send husband to supermarket or go myself. Because of course, if it is like the things like bread, cheese, butter, husband goes. If it is actual vegetables to be picked up, she will go. Won't trust me in picking up the right lady finger or the right kaddu or whatever I'm asked to bring. Right? So planning is required. And the better you can plan, higher the chances of the goal being achieved. So when you are building your to-do list, the more exhaustive the list, if you can think of the smallest thing that needs to be done. Yes. See, if it is talking to people, then it is identifying people, finding their contact details, calling them up, fixing up an appointment, meeting them, talking to them, pulling out all the things which you discussed and whatever you have to note down, recording that and taking action on them. I just listed down 8-10 steps, which was basically about talking to people. The more granular you go, the more easier it will be for you to plan it. It can also become overwhelming. So choose your granularity level also, and what level you want to plan. I can simply have one line, talk to Mr. Raj for this subject, or plan it in a way that, okay, I have to call this person, fix up a time, talk, meet, and so on and so forth. So choose your granularity. But as the more exhaustive your list, the better the chances of the plan being a success. Great. So these were the two important things that I wanted to talk about today. Step 5 and 6, to-do list, not to-do list, and the plan. So tomorrow you should be ready with a plan for at least one goal. Preferably your most important goal. That would be the best. Don't worry about if I have done my entire to-do list complete or not. Whatever you get, start pumping it into a plan. You will keep discovering new things to do. Okay? Great. So I got messages yesterday when I talked about the coaching side of it, the 5-month program, which I refer to the life coaching program. Somebody asked me, like 2 people asked me to share details. Now I've forgotten the names and I've forgotten whether they are in the room or not. So I'll just share, they will see the recording. Okay, so in a very quick overview, the life coaching which I do, taking people through the life coaching journey, it spans approximately 5 to 6 months, because there will be at least 20 sessions in there. Most of them will be group coaching, and the group is very small group, pretty much less than 5. I don't take more than 5 people in a group, because while I'm doing group coaching, there is the element of every person getting a chance to speak and share. And beyond 5, it will just become too many people. And you're doing more of listening than speaking or thinking. So I'm trying to balance that. Approximately in those 20 plus meetings, most of them will be group sessions, but there will be at least 4 or 5 one-to-one coaching sessions. So there it's just you and me having a chat about certain areas. Either you are not comfortable with sharing something with in front of other people, or there's just something which you want to figure out in a one-to-one call rather than a group call. So that's the span of it. Typically, I do it on weekends, 2-hour sessions over Zoom. What else is there? And yes, I talked about the journey in terms of discovering yourself, your personality, and it's not just a personality test, it is understanding your core values, your beliefs, what drives you, and so on, other things. The limiting beliefs that you have got, and how do you start working on them. So that's your complete understanding of self. And then we go towards goal setting, which of course, as we have talked about, 50 goals you identify minimum, and then you start creating plans. Each plan will have its own milestones and checkpoints as to where you are going to keep track of your progress and so on and so forth. We talk about how do you change your state, because your state defines how you will behave with other people, how you interact with other people, how you perform internally, and what you think, how you think, and so on and so forth. So, how do you take charge and take control of your state of mind is an important part of the whole coaching journey. And then, of course, aligning it to the vision, your life vision, creating your own vision board, understanding or actually defining what you want out of life, and then aligning all of these together. Typically, I've talked to quite a few coaches, and at least the American and the European ones would either charge by the hour, couple of $100 per hour, or the whole program, which is about 2 to 3 months. I've seen typical costs being in the range of $5,000 to $10,000. I've got my Indian rate, even if when I'm talking in terms of dollars or dirhams, it's not $5,000, but I keep my price pegged at 5,000 dirhams for the 5-month program. So easily it goes from 5 to 6 months. 5,000 dirhams is what I usually charge. If anybody is interested from the group who is listening here, or the ones who are watching the recording, the other people who have registered for the Take Charge Challenge, let's talk if you're interested. And since you have attended this program, probably another discounting can be done. But that's open to conversation. I'm not making an offer that, oh, for today or for 2 days there will be an offer, nothing like that. If you're interested, we'll talk about it. The conversation we have about life coaching essentially is two ways. One, I need to understand why are you thinking about life coaching, or what are you looking for in terms of life coaching? What are you trying to fix in life, or what is the place where you are stuck? And then, of course, if I can help or not, whether my coaching journey will be helpful or not, that's the conversation we need to have and ascertain whether this will work or not. Okay, so that's about the life coaching thing. We have already talked about laser coaching for your goals. If there are any goals that you would like to clarify, redefine, make them foolproof, a 23-minute conversation, rapid fire conversation. There's no chit chat happening there. Keep asking questions, and you have to, like, of course, I'll make you very, very uncomfortable with those rapid fire questions, but you keep answering those questions, and that's how your goal gets very, very refined, and you start building the plans around that goal. So that will be a starting point. 23 dirhams or 500 rupees entirely to be donated, and you will be making the donation directly. You're not paying me for that session. So that's about the laser coaching thing. So we come to the close of the session today in terms of am I still there? Okay, yes. So we come to the close of the content that I had to share. Now it is open to the question answers. So any questions related to the session today? Things were pretty clear and very simple. So no questions, it seems. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Time for me to stop the recording.